Listen closely because what I'm about to reveal is being deliberately buried by mainstream media and even some of the so-called experts on CNBC and Bloomberg. If you think the recent XRP price swings are random, think again. This is far from coincidence. BlackRock just quietly adjusted its blockchain exposure. Ripple insiders have been signaling moves behind closed doors, and the SEC's whispers in Washington are louder than ever. Prepare for shock. What you're witnessing isn't market noise. It's a seismic, institutional-level positioning that could redefine XRP's trajectory for months, possibly years ahead. The questions you should be asking yourself are brutal. Why is liquidity moving like this? Why now? And most importantly, who benefits while retail holders panic or stay on the sidelines? You cannot afford to scroll past this. If you're serious about safeguarding your XRP and riding the next explosive wave, hit that subscribe button now and make sure notifications are on, because the details I'm about to expose are time-sensitive, life-changing, and almost guaranteed to be missed by 99% of traders. This is not fear-mongering. This is an urgent decoding of signals from global banks, hedge funds, and shadow players in crypto who are orchestrating moves that will make or break positions overnight. JP Morgan analysts have quietly flagged XRP for strategic repositioning. IMF reports hint at cross-border settlements that may favor RippleNet, and some of the whispers coming from ex-CFTC advisors suggest a massive regulatory pivot that could redefine XRP's legal clarity. WTF? How does all of this tie together? Stick with me because in the next few minutes, you're going to see patterns and signals that the media refuses to cover, charts and on-chain data that scream insider intent, and strategic moves that could turn small XRP positions into monumental gains or leave latecomers scrambling. The clock is ticking, the game is evolving, and what you do in the next 48 hours could literally change your portfolio's trajectory forever. Now, let's cut through the noise and get into the raw, undeniable data that the institutions don't want you to see. XRP wallets holding over 1 million tokens just moved billions in the last 72 hours. Massive, coordinated shifts that are invisible to most traders but crystal clear to anyone watching on-chain analytics. Glassnode and Whale Alert are lighting up, and these aren't retail transfers. These are whale-level moves, possibly triggered by inside information or pre-positioning for upcoming RippleNet partnerships. Meanwhile, exchanges like Binance and Coinbase are quietly adjusting liquidity pools, and the volume spikes we're seeing align suspiciously with known BlackRock and Fidelity crypto funds' rebalancing patterns. Let that sink in. The same entities that manipulate traditional markets are now influencing XRP in real time. On top of that, Ripple's executive team, including Brad Garlinghouse himself, has been meeting with top-tier banking institutions, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, and even Saudi Arabia's central bank to expand cross-border payment corridors. IMF reports hint at a new wave of digital asset integration for emerging markets, and XRP sits squarely in the middle of it. The math doesn't lie. XRP's transaction volume on the ledger is spiking, yet the circulating supply available for retail trading is shrinking. Classic supply shock conditions paired with institutional accumulation. This is textbook setup for a breakout. And here's a critical point most analysts miss. SEC filings and insider trades show that Ripple's legal trajectory is leaning towards a settlement that could completely remove regulatory overhang. If that happens, the market could react in ways that defy historical trends. Prepare yourself, because while the mainstream is distracted by Bitcoin drama and DeFi nonsense, XRP is quietly being positioned for a move that could rival anything we've seen in 2017 or 2021, but on a far more sophisticated, globally coordinated scale. You have to understand this. When institutions move like this, they are not guessing. They are executing. And if you want to survive and thrive, you need to read the signals as I'm showing you before the masses wake up and panic buy, driving volatility to levels that will make your head spin. Now, let's expose the catalyst behind this whirlwind of XRP activity and tackle the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's being spread like wildfire by mainstream media and crypto analysts who don't see the full picture. The catalyst is not some random pump or social media hype. This is strategic, multi-layered, and orchestrated at the highest levels. Ripple has quietly secured integrations with at least 3 major financial institutions that could go live within weeks, and we're talking global banks with trillions in assets under management. Barclays, Citi, and yes, even JP Morgan are allegedly testing cross-border settlement rails with XRP as the backbone. This is why the sudden liquidity shifts and whale accumulation makes sense. They are positioning ahead of what could be the largest institutional adoption of XRP to date. But don't get distracted by FUD campaigns. The SEC continues to leak misleading headlines to destabilize retail sentiment, while certain crypto pundits spread baseless "XRP is dead" narratives to scare weak hands. Ignore it, because the data tells a completely different story. XRP ledger activity is accelerating, settlement volumes are climbing, and large wallets are consolidating, not dumping. Every rumor of legal trouble or regulatory hesitation is being weaponized to suppress price before the next institutional wave hits. And if you aren't prepared, you could be left holding the bag as the insiders move to secure their positions. Prepare for shock. The pattern we're seeing mirrors historical pre-breakout setups where price remained suppressed while accumulation silently occurred behind the scenes, only to explode once adoption and legal clarity align. This is why you must pay attention to on-chain signals, wallet activity, and partnership announcements, because they are the real market movers, not headlines or influencer speculation. Retail panic will create the volatility, but the gains, massive, institutional-level gains, will go to those who recognize the setup and hold steady while the market shakes out the weak hands. Every major financial institution is effectively signaling XRP is ready, and the mainstream media doesn't want you to know it. If you've been wondering why nothing seems to make sense in crypto lately, this is it. XRP isn't just moving, it's being positioned for a moment that could redefine its role in global finance. Now, let's break down the price justification and deliver the final warning that mainstream analysts will never tell you. Look at the supply-demand dynamics. Institutional wallets are consolidating massive XRP holdings while the exchange-listed supply shrinks daily. On-chain metrics show a staggering concentration of coins and wallets that have not moved for months. Classic long-term accumulation behavior, signaling that the next major price move could be monumental. Analysts at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup have quietly projected digital asset corridors that would justify XRP trading multiples far beyond current levels, and internal memos leaked from crypto hedge funds hint at aggressive pre-positioning for a scenario where XRP becomes a primary settlement token in cross-border finance. Prepare yourself, because if Ripple's legal clarity comes through and these banking integrations roll out, we are looking at a price shock that could leave retail traders reeling. What you see now could be just the calm before a storm of epic proportions. Do not underestimate the implications. This isn't just a pump, this is structural adoption. And if you're late, you're on the outside watching as massive gains are realized by those already in position. And here's the kicker. Volatility will spike, fear will intensify, and the media will scream XRP crash to trigger panic selling, but savvy holders will recognize this as the perfect accumulation window. If you act now with eyes wide open to on-chain signals, institutional positioning, and emerging partnerships, you position yourself to ride a move that could dwarf anything seen in crypto history. But if you wait, hesitate, or get swayed by headlines, you risk missing this rare alignment of legal clarity, institutional adoption, and market psychology. This is the critical moment. XRP is primed, the whales are loading, and the game-changing catalysts are imminent. The clock is ticking faster than most realize, and the next 72 hours could define the trajectory of XRP for the foreseeable future. Act decisively, study the data, and prepare for a shockwave that will shake the crypto world and change everything you thought you knew about digital assets. In closing, remember this: what you've just witnessed is not speculation. It's an unveiling of patterns, insider positioning, and institutional strategy that the mainstream refuses to cover. XRP is moving under the radar, orchestrated by major banks, hedge funds, and Ripple's own leadership, while retail panic and media FUD attempt to disguise the real story. The catalysts are aligned, the accumulation is real, and the legal trajectory is tilting in Ripple's favor. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Pay attention to on-chain data, track institutional wallets, and recognize that the next move could be explosive. This is a rare moment in crypto history where preparation, insight, and decisiveness will separate those who profit from those who watch from the sidelines. Remember, the clock is ticking, the signals are clear, and the wave is forming. Don't be caught unprepared when it hits. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and most importantly, act with the foresight that 99% of traders lack. XRP isn't just another crypto, it's a structural shift in global finance, and if you position yourself correctly, you could be part of the story, not just a spectator. This is your chance to see behind the curtain, to understand the moves the institutions are making, and to take action before the masses wake up. The time is now. The signals are undeniable, and the opportunity is real. Be ready, be decisive, be in the know.